Hello and welcome to this episode of The Adventures of the Windswift. For those of you that celebrate it, happy Christmas. For those of you that know nothing of what I'm talking about, this episode lands on the 25th of December. So for all of those of you that celebrate or have a merry time or drink too much or eat too much like I do, a very happy one of those days to you. For everybody else, well, welcome to the show. So, Dice of Destiny, to do a recap on what happened last episode. It is number 2, which is Graham. Please take us through what happened last week.
A lot of bullcrap happened last week. So, the entire party, we come out through the doors, open doors, as Mutaru rushes in. Rushes into battle with the elders as they're throwing out their ice magic, and we did properly dispose of them. While, Khan changing to bears and capturing a bunch of ghouls inside of the tanglements of weeds and different plant life. I don't know where it comes from. And then we see our four-armed friend, big ice gorilla yeti man, pretty much almost kill Mutaru. And I, being gracious enough to not let someone die, runs by and slashes at it, trying to distract the creature. But then seeing Sari and Julii fighting each other, I had to interpose once again, a little differently than the normal Green aspect. And what does Sari do? Sari turns and says, "I knew it!" and just brought everything down. As we look at the floor of the chamber, everything shatters and breaks, and we're falling at the moment, I would assume, to our deaths, while I am glaring at Sari the whole time, going, "You're an idiot!"
It's just like...
Yeah, just like, as we're falling, just like, "You are an idiot!" Potentially Grimm's last words.
and there we pick it up. Yes, the entire chasm floor for 100 foot in all directions has shattered. And like so many thousand panes of glass falling towards the earth surface below, chunks of ice and corpse and bodies all sail downward for at least 10 foot, and then suddenly come to a stop. You find yourselves suspended in midair. You can feel the soft tingle, or the touch, if you like, of magic slowly running across the length of your bodies. It's not restrictive. You can move around, and if you swing your arms, you slowly start to rotate. But you are suspended. You can try and pull yourself forward with little major movement in any particular direction. Mutaru, yes, you hang there unconscious, your lifeblood slowly leaking out of you. Or is it? Yes, Simon.
So, what happens to our assailants, our opponents? Are they also...
Exactly. Everything. Even the ice itself is suspended.
What I would try to do is just push myself away from the zombies and try to propel myself towards Mutaru.
All right, give me an acrobatics or athletics check, please.
Da, 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 da,
12.
da, 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 12.
12. All right. So you kick out against one of these creatures. It claws at you but misses completely. Your foot lands on its shoulder, pushing it backwards so that it spins in the opposite direction. But you start to sail out towards Mutaru, in roughly the same sort of direction. There are a few pieces of ice that are suspended next to you as well, but you think you'll be able to sort of pull yourself across them and around them, so to speak. Mutaru, you do not need to make any death saves, because the same magic that holds you up holds you in.
Oh.
Looking below you, you can see that there is a vast chamber. The floor is inscribed with ancient runes which which describe out this almost spiderweb-like diagram of mystic powers, mystic words. The floor is made out of a green ice, and the runes inscribed into it have got this blue energy which plays across them like wildfire. It seems to pool into a certain collection of words or shapes and then snake its way into another one as it moves around. Standing at the very center of this mosaic of magic is a figure which, Mutaru, you would recognize if you were awake. There is this...
Do I?
Yes, the elvish mage is standing there. He has a bronze medallion with this gem right in the center of it. And he is holding his hands up in the air with energy arcing out of his fingers, holding everything in suspension above him. From this distance, you can see that he is straining to keep everything suspended exactly where it is, unable to move. When he sees the four of you, he is 30 foot below you. When he sees that it's the four of you, his face is a mixture of frustration, hatred, and anger, simply because he seems to be trapped in the same space that you're trapped in. If he lets go, he gets buried in ice. If he maintains it, you're maintained alive. It's an interesting paradox for him. What are you three doing?
I'm going to stare straight and sorry and say, oh, I should repeat myself in case you didn't hear me. You're an idiot!
Your words come out of your mouth. They sound almost like maybe you're underwater. They do travel and everyone can hear you.
Like this?
There we go. Something very similar to that. She looks over at you, holding her lute in one hand, with... You can see these sort of two bubbles of blood, where the blood is being held in by the magic, where the dagger had... the daggers have been impaled into her. She looks over at you. Yeah? Well, you're a traitor!
No, I am not. I will come to save you.
And I'm going to try and make another stab at Julia.
All right, Julia has started to see what Blackson is doing, and you can see she's slowly working a dagger into a piece of ice so she can pull herself away from you guys. So that's your action. You're going to try and attack her. Blackston, you're busy sailing towards Mutaru. You will get to him by the end of the round, you reckon, by pulling yourself forward and around these chunks of ice. Con, what are you doing?
This probably doesn't hit.
As a
So
big
this thing-
bear...
Before everything exploded, this thing had just hit me with a chunk of ice.
Yes, it's now floating
Away.
Its back is to you. It hasn't seen you, but it's let go of the chunk of ice, which is now drifted up above it.
How is it behaving? Is it confused? Is it purposeful?
No, it's very confused.
Good. Is there any? Is it within reach?
Yes, it's about 7
Okay.
foot away. Yeah.
I'm going to try and grab a hold of it, bite it, and claw at it. But I'm going to try and
As you drift towards...
move myself on top of it. So if this suspension thing should end, I'm on top of it.
Isn't then the ice block behind him? Like,
You'll be sandwiched.
Yes, so you would be sandwiching yourself between it and the ice block, but I'm sure that shouldn't be a problem. All right, give me give me an attack. Graham, you've given me an attack. You said you didn't think it hit.
It's 12.
No, all right. You slash out at her, but she turns to the side, moving out of the way fairly simply.
The bite is 11.
To hit? Yeah, that's no
Yeah.
good. You get a mouthful of bits of hair.
Man.
And then the claws. Much better. That is 26.
That's a hit. Do damage. You smack it across the back of its head.
Could I
5,
could I possibly use a bonus action to attack her?
12.
reactions are usually
Yeah.
just reactions.
No, I mean, like, because I guess, no, we didn't really do a turn. You're right. Yeah, so
Yeah,
let's move on.
it's your claws bite into the back of its head, ripping out a chunk of flesh. And the moment the flesh comes away, you see it doesn't sail away from your hand. The magic just encases it within your hand, so it's sort of held in your space. And where the flesh is exposed, the bubble reforms over it. And for a moment, there was that blue blood. But again, it bubbles, containing it within this suspension field. Yes. You have, however, managed to sort of rotate yourself over it, but it's now obviously using its arms to flail and is going to slowly turn itself around, and then you'll be hanging and doing that.
Could I potentially then use my move action? No, I guess it's really an attack to sort of push it. No.
Yeah, that'll be next round. Well, that'll be once we go into initiative. Julia looks over at you as you sort of stab at her. I thought we were partners. Wasn't this a ruse?
No.
You agreed to help me get the artifact.
You are a fool.
She
I
pulls
don't
herself
work with
away.
fools. I don't work with fools.
All right, give me initiatives, everybody.
Even though, like, I'm gonna look at Sorry, like, you are a fool, but I'm not a killable fool.
Sorry,
Do we actually do we? I mean, I assume
you
are.
Yes.
Then now, Julia, do we hear Julia?
You do, yes.
So Con and me hear it. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
you all quite happily hear it. All right, Mutaro, you can give me initiative as well, please, because now you're going to give me a death save. Yes, sir.
Yep.
18.
18. Nice.
Ooh.
Just when I want to go first.
We're like syncing today. We both rolled 1 last time. We both got 18.
It is.
I tried.
Graham, what did you
I
get?
tried.
11.
11.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. 9. It's 9.
It's 9. Con?
Yeah.
You got 18.
Yep.
Laxton?
12.
So you're like, Well, we'll see. Yeah, you pull out your helmet and smack touch him. No. Starting with Mutaru.
Seriously.
Oh, no.
Okay, for the folks at home, I have 1 death saving throw. If I fail it,
45, 55.
it's good. It's goodbye, Mataru. Okay.
45, 55, boy.
Okay. I'm gonna try this.
Your soul will be forfeit.
You valiant soul that rests within this dice, please save my character from a terrible, terrible death. I really liked him.
I feel it's too much build up.
17.
So, 2 life saves, 2 death saves. But maybe Blackstone coming to the rescue shortly. Con, what are you doing?
Stay one. Listen.
So I'm now going to try and launch this thing at the floor, directly downwards with all my strength.
Alright.
I'm not sure what sort of...
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check, please. And I also want you to give me a perception check as well.
Now, I don't have an acrobatics listed, but I guess it's Dex, isn't it?
Yes, because I'm
Just give me
using
Dex.
all system.
I would say that proficiencies would carry over. So if you're proficient as a human, you're probably proficient
Yes.
in the area of expertise.
Correct. So you get your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity bonus.
To a Dex roll.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's lucky. The Dex roll is 18 as well.
Okay.
And the perception roll is 19.
All right. So you push down on it. I'm rolling its counter to your push because it might just
grab.
It might hold on, basically. Yeah. 18 is what we're looking for, and I've just rolled a 19. So as you push with your paws, it clamps onto you with its arms. And so the net result is this very slow movement downwards, but it's not going to go very far. With your perception, you are looking down. You see, although there's this elvish mage who's got everything in suspension, and the runes on the floor around him, you now start to take into account other things. And at the far end of the room, there is this large table made out of this very, very white substance. It's not ivory, but it's not ice either. You're not entirely sure what it is. It could be marble, perhaps. On that is an array of documents, papers, pages, etc. But something that catches your eye is that one of them is without doubt the deck layout of the Windswift.
Yeah, he can't even talk.
Yes, so as
Is that me done for actions?
that's
then?
you done, yes. That's
Cool.
Mutaro, that's Con, that leads us to God, which is me. Okay. Julia has propelled herself away from you now, Blackston, and she's heading down towards the room below. Not Blackston, sorry, Graham. My
Me,
apologies.
right.
Yes, she's pushed herself away from you, and is now.
Disengage probably. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So she was digging a dagger into the ice in
Yep.
the previous round. Yeah. So she sort of pulled on that and is now pulling her way further and further down towards the floor, in an attempt to get away from you. All that you hear her muttering. Do you speak Drow?
Nope.
All right. Does anyone speak Drow? No. All right.
Probably saying like everybody's an idiot, but
there's
that's
muttering
her fault.
going on under her breath as she's moving down towards the
I speak
floor.
Elvish, but
Yeah, common, Elvish, and
Elvish-
Celestial.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. The sorcerer looks up at the four of you, sweat now starting to bead on his brow, and for a moment he almost drops the spell, and you get a sense of him looking off to the side to a corridor, and
That's
then
an
this shout. He shouts down something, again in a language you don't speak. You've heard it before. It's the Ice Elf dialect. He shouts down that corridor. So for a moment, everyone drops, and then he immediately holds the magic up again, causing everything to suspend once again. But you've all dropped 5 foot and then sort of stopped, if you like, exactly where you are. Blackston.
Okay, so while I was floating towards Mutaro, I was getting the rope out of that I got back out
Yes.
of my backpack, and kind of tied it around like one of the javelin spears that I have. And when I get to Mutaro, I want to kind of try to stake him. No, try to kind of bind it around his body real quick. But before I do this, I'm trying to patch him up as quickly as I can with like a medicine check. I don't actually have any more healing spells. You took those already.
Or no more lay on hands.
That's why what he got when he had the hand in his chest.
Oh,
Yep.
that's right.
So no, 3 is not enough.
3. Oh, and so the pressure continues.
But,
right.
but what I try to do, if you allow me, I try to kind of wrap around the rope around his body to not just like around the waist, so if he falls, just like snaps, but like actually make it like somewhat like
Almost like a
around
sling.
the neck.
Around,
Yeah,
under the
exactly,
arms, under the groin.
Yeah, under the
Alright,
arms
yeah.
and exactly, and then probably next round, then I'm trying to stake the javelin into the ice behind him so that he drops to 5 feet.
Almost into a
hopefully.
hammock. That's a very good thought. All right, so that's what you're busy frantically trying to do. Graham,
Is there anything I can push off of to reach Julia?
roll a d20.
There's a gnome.
Yes.
I was that's the thing I was gonna ask. Like, do you think I could push off of her to get in?
You could push off of Sori, yes.
Oh. Actually, can I quickly hang on?
Yeah, roll a d20.
Oh, okay, roll d20. Yep.
It's just a
6.
6. All right. There's Sori, otherwise there's a few shards of ice, but they don't look like they're going to give you much purchase.
Okay. I'm gonna look at her and be like, I don't care what you're thinking or feeling right now. We have a problem. So we're trying to survive. I'm going to go after her and finish this. You can witness it if you like. But I need you to help the others, especially the cow. And before hopefully she responds, I'm going to quickly take my boots
Right.
and kick off of her to get to Julia.
All right, give me...
Hopefully pushes her to
the right direction.
Mutaro. Yeah, like we're trying to angle myself as like a compass and then
It's like 3D billiards here.
yeah.
All right, so firstly,
Now go to your bard stuff.
Before we get into that, I firstly need you to give me a persuasion check, if you please.
Oh, okay.
To see if you sway her from her current belief that you are a traitor.
Oh look, this is gonna be the first time I'm using this. That's 16.
16. And... Wow. Natural 20.
Oh no!
No, that's a good
kidding?
thing. It means she believes. Well, she sees that you are being absolutely genuine in your approach.
Okay. Oh, her
yes.
insight. Oh, because it's true. I am. Just we have a problem.
Correct. All right, so you push off from her. Give me an acrobatics check, please, which is dexterity plus proficiency, because, well, we can. And,
You know what's great?
Yeah.
I'm not proficient in acrobatics.
You're not?
No.
Best rogue ever.
Because I was sitting there making a decision like, all right, it's either investigation or acrobatics. I took investigation.
So I'm a rogue. I can't sneak. I can't.
Yep.
Acrobat.
Oh, this is great. 12.
12. All right, so you
12.
push off of her. Your boot goes under her chin, and your other boot goes under her breast. As you push off from her, she kind of spins around. You're sort of sailing in a direction towards, roughly towards where Julia is busy heading. That brings us rather disastrously back to the top of the round and
Oh no.
to Mutaru.
45, 55.
Never give me the odds.
I'm gonna die. No, no, I'm not. I'm not. I can do this.
Please tell me you have Revivify.
I
Somebody.
don't.
Does
I don't-
anybody have inspiration? I don't have it anymore.
You know, our bard does.
Is there a thing? Is that? But look, okay.
No,
look,
you-
out of
you-
everyone here, I'm the lowest experienced for the D&D stuff. If anyone's got anything, to help me
you've
with
all
this-
used yours, if you remember. There was lots of inspiration burned on the arrival at the ziggurat, and
That's why I asked, because I don't have
Yeah.
it. I would give it to.
yeah,
All right.
Wait,
all right, here we go.
well,
here we go.
oh, I don't think I ever used mine. Did I?
everyone used theirs.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We all got one, I think.
Yeah, you only get one.
You-
Yeah. All right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Ah! 9.
9. Right. Roll a percentile die, if you please.
Guys, last chance to keep him up.
The pronunciation is die.
That is a 99%,
Right.
which I think that's cool. I don't know if that's good.
He 99 most assuredly dies.
Right. We will see what that
There's a-
does.
There's a 99% chance of absolute death.
Yeah.
Your soul gets sucked into the warmonger.
Con, what are you doing?
Portal opens.
This
can't-
thing has grabbed hold of me, is
Yes. It's holding on to you. It's because it's got these big spikes. You can feel it's almost trying to massage itself into just impaling you.
Ooh.
it? Crap. Okay, this is going to be risky, but I'm going to revert to human form. That's my bonus action. I'm hoping is going to make me suddenly not being grappled by this thing.
All right, we'll go with that.
Makes it tiny.
And then I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Oh,
Good one.
Oh.
Maybe.
see, when the GM is trying to save a player who's basically dying, and then other players cast Thunderwave in a giant chamber filled with ice.
Well, in theory,
it
it shouldn't
difficult.
be that bad.
Oh, wait. And everything's floating, too. Here
Yeah.
comes the ice bullets.
Yeah.
Well, no, they only move
I'm
10
okay.
feet.
I have heavy armor around me.
Wait, it's like Motaro slowly wakes up and he's like, oh, thanks, guys.
So here's,
Just an icicle into the eye, just like
Yeah.
so this is how the effect works. The creature gets to make a Constitution save.
That's right. I bet it's got pretty good constitution.
Its Constitution with its bonuses is a whopping 14.
Please tell me you're sorry.
Balls. That is my DC.
Oh no! Yes. All right.
On a successful save, it takes half damage
All right.
and isn't pushed away.
All right. So it does take half damage. It has disentangled from you because as you change shape, it immediately, well, not immediately, but it lost its grip. It's got to try and
Literally.
Total damage was 13.
13, so 7 damage to it. All right.
If it had failed, it would have been pushed 10 feet away from me, but
Nice.
it has not. In addition, unsecured objects in the area of effect are pushed 10 feet away from me as well.
Ah, all right. Okay. So there is this, and just chunks of ice drift out in different directions for 10
It's like
foot.
Matrix, the last Matrix when they smash
Yes.
each other when the rain kind of
And you can hear echo through the chamber a curse. That did not go according to plan.
Nothing went according to
According to
plan.
plan.
What do you think this is?
Do you think this was the plan?
No one listens to me.
All right. You can see the mage below. He now starts to move his fingers. And ever so slowly, pieces of ice now start to move, as almost as if he's orchestrating things to move out of the way. And he's clearing a space around above him. Almost like a chimney space, if you like. That's what he's doing. The ape creature attacks Con. Just sort of rips at you. Miss. Miss.
Oh my god.
Hit.
Shit.
Miss.
Wow. Yes, you got relatively lucky there.
You got very lucky
Yeah.
there. 7 points damage. As this claw rakes across your belly, digging in quite deeply, I believe.
Yes, that elicits an anguished cry of pain.
Yes. You have a very curious sensation, however, because you feel as if you should be bleeding. But instead it feels like there's this pressure which has been placed on your open wound, and it stings a bit because it pushes the skin slightly apart whilst keeping the blood in the same space.
Man, it's gonna be awkward what I'm gonna do then.
Julie has come into a little bit of trouble. You can see that she's 10 foot above the surface of the ground, and she's run out of momentum, and there's nothing around her for her to push on or away, so she's twisting and...
And yet here I slowly come like a shark, just
Yes, but it's really slowly. It's like, I'm coming.
Just like this.
I'm still coming. I'm still coming.
going to kill you.
All right. That brings us through to Blackston.
I will use another one of my javelins to secure Mutaro even further because he's quite big and therefore also probably quite heavy. And then one small stick might not hold his weight.
All right. Would you please give me a intelligence saving throw?
Intelligence saving.
no.
Yes, please.
No.
Natural 1.
Oh, that's
All right.
this is bad.
You put the 2 javelins in. You run the cables. You reckon this is the ultimate harness to hold Mutaru in place with.
Mutaro, you're fine.
We can't hear you.
So, with like a nod, with like
I'll be just fine.
with like a happy and kind of confident nod at what I've just produced, I will then just so I turn around and I see this whole kind of mess kind of happening,
Yes.
and I also realize, I don't know why I did the save, so that's why I asked. Do I also realize that this kind of cylinder above the mage is kind of forming?
Yes, it's very obvious to see that he's doing that. Because yes, it's obvious.
So, and then my next question would be, how much longer does he need to clear the way? I mean, how much debris is there still above?
Probably another 2 turns.
2 turns.
Yeah, another 12 seconds or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fall 30 feet. All right, so I will then push myself downwards at the side of the ice, kind of
Good thinking.
having my climbing gear to kind
Yes.
of expecting at some point to drop, right, and then kind of climb the rest of the way down.
Perfect. Very good thinking, that one. Right, so you're busy making your way down the wall side. Graham.
Am I close enough? Can I
You're
attack her yet?
drifting towards her, drifting. You're still drifting. She's looking behind her, starting to panic as she's trying to move away. You may make your attack.
As like, so I'm gonna shout up to Sari like, hey, are you seeing this? You seeing this? Yeah, that means you were wrong.
You didn't get the point.
Oh God. And as I make this attack, I'm gonna whisper at Julia, just like, I don't tolerate fools. You will die here today, and you will be in this frozen coffin. I rolled a natural 20. That's awesome.
Roll it again,
Nice.
please. Roll it
Okay.
again.
Please let me have a natural 20 so I can just kill her. I rolled a 10.
All right, double damage.
Okay.
Just roll your normal damage, double it, and then add your modifiers.
Yep. Of all times. Okay. Well, so I rolled a 2,
All right,
and now I got 4.
Yeah.
So then that's gonna be 8.
8 damage. She screams in pain as your blade punctures in between her lower rib and her floating rib. Mm-hmm. And as you pull it out, there's this line, almost looks like a bright red worm of blood, which slowly then gets pushed back into her as the suspension field holds her suspended.
And then I'll use my bonus action to attack one more time.
Make it.
Here comes the dagger. I'm not kidding! Here comes the camera! I rolled another natural 20! Hang on. Come here, camera. Get over here.
This is
Okay.
shaky cam footage,
Damn
guys.
it. No, hang on.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams is going to phone you quickly.
Hang on.
You need like 15 cuts in this to make it action.
I need like I need more feed.
Okay,
hang on.
we
Like
It's fine.
there's a large amount of desperation to prove your point. We get it. We trust you.
All
You've
right.
made your deception roll.
I don't
We-
want to lie. I don't want to lie. Okay, that's all.
Then
I
don't.
don't want to. Okay, so no, I'll lie in the
All
game,
right.
but I don't want to lie for anyway.
All right,
So I did.
roll
so-
it again.
Oh my god. And that's it's a 1.
Oh god! After all of that, normal damage. Okay, well, roll your damage.
What the fuck? What is this? So normal damage. Here we go. 2.
The dice
So
gods
I
are
rolled-
capricious.
Yeah, what is happening? Like I rolled 2 natural 20s. But
If
then,
only they'd been next to each other. All right.
she's not dead yet, right?
She's not dead. No, she's just she is pincushioned. However, she is pincushioned. All right, Mutaro, am I correct in saying that you worship the god Rowan?
Yes, that is correct.
Correct. Would you describe the god Rowan to me, please?
Row,
The
Rowan's
god
cool.
Rowan, if memory serves, is a god of chaotic destiny. Oh, can you hear me? Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Is a god of chaotic destiny. So in short, it is about trying to find and identify yourself through the process of embracing your destiny as opposed to trying to follow a set path in your life. In the case of Mutaru, everything in his life geared him to be, well, let's just say, not what he is now. Not a captain, not a warrior, not particularly...
Yes.
Yeah, basically a whole bunch of things. But Mutaru strived his entire life to break free of this with the guidance of his deity, Rowan.
Now tell me what Rowan looks like.
Pac-Man.
Okay, I'm gonna admit I don't know that.
All right, I'll tell you what Rowan looks like. Rowan looks like an old, bent-over chung, this large grey-haired yak with this round, conical, straw-woven hat.
Ooh, that's cool.
And in one hand, he holds these 2 spheres. One is absolutely black, the other one is absolutely white. And he rolls those around, and there's this general tinkling sound that plays out. His robes that he wears are this red, deep maroon red garment, fairly simple in its construction. But as you look at it, it changes color. It's red, then it's blue, then it's green, then it's yellow, then it's black, then it's white. This is what you are seeing. And it then hits you with this very large stick, which it has in its other hand, right between the
Ow.
eyes.
Ow!
What are you doing?
I don't know, developing a mild concussion. Do I recognize?
He hits you again.
Ah! Son of a...
It is to challenge your destiny, not to die. I can't work with dead people.
Sorry, master.
You better be.
Whew. But there was this giant gorilla. It had 4 arms.
You are actor. You not fighter. Why are you in front line? Always front line. I look for Mutaru. Where Mutaru? Not on stage. No. Not in Kabuki theater. No. Mutaru front line. Always front line. Always dying front line too. That was.
But master, I'm supposed to challenge my destiny. I
Yes.
refuse
Challenge
to be...
your destiny, not your enemies. They are better than you. Clearly.
Oh.
You
Oh.
keep dying. Challenge your destiny by being smart, Mutaru. This constant seeking of trying to prove better than others through physical combat is misguided, is stupid. Look, you are here now, dead.
Yes, I suppose. But
Whack!
maybe it's...
You suppose I am a god? I am right.
I'm
Yes?
growing a 3rd horn.
That is disgusting.
Oof. Yes, of course you're right. Of course you're right. I have been foolish. I've been reckless. I've been too hasty to challenge everything, even common sense.
You must learn when to fight and when to withdraw, when to be in the front and when to be an audience applauding. You understand now, Mutaru?
I understand, master. Is it too late for me?
No,
There's still
it's
so
never
much-
too late for you. I am a god. I am god of destiny. I change your destiny. You are not destined to die today. See? It's easy. It's done. You're not dead anymore. Now go away and do not come back, or I will punish you even more severely. You understand me?
Yes, master. Yes, master. You won't see me until I'm an old man.
Yes, probably. The whole world reverts back to you floating in ice. You're on 1 hit point.
Jesus! Ah! 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 Ah!
You're in some sort of bondage situation also.
Yes.
Wait, so you made like one of those like baby carriers, you know, like just like all held up. He's just like,
Yes. Give me a medicine check quickly, please, Mutaru.
I gotta pat myself up before Master hits me again.
Yeah, so now I roll a natural 20.
It's a good
That's
thing.
what I needed. That's what I needed that for.
You realize, whilst you are suspended in these ropes with these 2 javelins holding you in place, that if you were to move your right arm half an inch, the knots would all slip and literally hang you.
Quick
This is
revisit.
a terrible, terrible day.
All right. So that is your moment of what you're doing. Con, what are you doing?
Don't move your right arm.
Is it possible to push away from this thing and cast a spell?
Yes.
That is what I would like to try and do.
All right. Give
So
me
the pushing away bit.
Yes.
How
Acrobatics.
acrobatics. Okay. 18.
All right. You push away from it, and this time it doesn't grab you. So you're now sailing upwards slightly.
And then I cast Healing Word on Mutaru.
All right.
Oh, my dice are nice to me today. That's max hit points of 8.
Nice. Mutaro's on 9. Very good.
Mutaru, feel the energy flow through you.
What are you doing, Mutaru? Idiot!
I can still hear him.
I still wish this is like animated. I really want to see that. Just like you've been like, I think I have a concussion. Ow! Stupid!
All right.
I really like that voice guy, by the way. That was wow. That was cool.
Julii, thank you. Julii now pulls out 2 daggers, and she throws one of them straight at you, Grim.
Mutaru.
Now another choice: whether Green takes it so it doesn't hit Mutaru. I'm not that nice.
I get into the afterlife and I just start running.
Yeah.
I'm bolting.
All right, that's a 19, so that's going to hit you, Graham.
Yeah. I have a 15 AC. Just saying.
Okay, so you take 4 points of damage. Would you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh my God! This is all your fault. Sorry, this is all your fault.
It is totally not my fault.
It so is.
But you're not a traitor, so that's fine. You're okay.
Well, yeah, great. Well, I got 7 total.
7 total. All right.
Yeah.
Roll a d4.
Oh no. Okay, well that's 3.
All right, you lose 3 points from your Constitution as the poison. The blade just skims over you, but the burning sensation just starts to rip across your muscles. Everything starts to spasm. It gets tight. There's this. Your tongue starts to feel like it's swelling. Your lips feel dry. It's quite the experience.
I'm going to enjoy ripping your innards out from your body.
Okay. The mage, who's busy creating this column, has now opened out a full amount of ice from around him.
Not from Constitution.
So this channel has opened up above him. From the side, you can see... all of you can give me a perception check, actually. Because there is a figure standing in that corridor.
21, natural 20.
Natural
Also
20.
natural 20.
Natural 20.
What the fuck is... Oh, wait, hang on. It's 18, though, because I have minus 2.
You're minus 2. Con?
Muted.
20.
Also, normal 20?
18.
18. 2 18s and 2 20s. Okay, well, there you go. All right, so all of you see standing in this archway watching. There is a figure. The only part of the figure that's not in shadow are the boots. And the boots are a particularly shiny black. Very, very shiny black. Very simple style military boot. Very, very shiny, very well maintained. They stand there for maybe 2 or 3 seconds and then turn and walk out. And as it walks out, the tip of a cloak comes out into, it's exposed in the archway. And that cloak is an incredibly red, deep crimson color before that disappears as well with whatever is happening.
Is there...
Yes?
Is from what I see, again, natural 20, maybe that
Yes.
helps me here. The cloak, when he turns around, whiffs in the air. Is it just a monocolor cloak, or are there any stitchings or kind of...
So it looks to be a very heavy-duty cape or cloak. This is one that would fall over the shoulders, and you'd be able to wear it almost so it completely encapsulates the wearer. This is not just a dandy's display. It's a functional red cloak.
Traveling cloak.
Yes, but because the tip is so red, though, with your natural 20, what you can deduce, my dear Watson, is that this figure did not walk through snow recently. This figure did not walk through mud recently. The boots are incredibly clean. The cloak, as a matter of fact, you may or may not have detected the glint of wax right on the tip of the cloak, which could have been dropped by candles, and yet there are no candles in the ziggurat. Or at least none that you've seen. And yet all of you have traipsed through snow to get to the ziggurat. That much you do know. All right, so that's what you picked up there. The mage looks over at this retreating form, and you don't have to make insight checks. The mage is particularly upset that this individual is walking away, to the point that, again, the magic almost starts to break as you all start to slowly move down until he looks back up and holds his hands to keep the spell intact. The ape creature is going to try and come after you, Con, but it needs to pass all those. No, it just pulls around at you, and it doesn't have the sense to push off or kick off from anything, so it remains exactly where it is, snarling, screaming, bellowing. Graham, from behind you, you hear, I know you're not a traitor, so if I kill you, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Fireball.
Oh, no.
Wow. Okay, Graham, you're going to have to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Make it. Make it.
Yes.
That'd be 23.
23. All right, you hear her strum out 5 different
22.
5 different notes on her lute. And with the last one, as she strikes down, this sizzling hot energy comes from behind you. You flip yourself over to the side and watch as this bolt of pure blue energy sails down and cock dice. Sorry. Slams into Julii. Wow, okay. Slams into Julii. Julii cries out in pain as this energy crackles around her and causes her to twitch as the sonic miasma starts to work its way across her. Blackston.
All right. Am I out of the kind of tractor field?
Yes. Yes. You're busy crawling down. As you get to the glyph level, immediately the spell disengages.
All right. So
we all fall?
As soon as
No, just Blackston.
I tried to get down there because he was kind of clearing the space above him, so I assume that at some point he will do this, right? Anyways. So as I get out there, I'll use the next 5 or 10 feet or whatever of my movement to get to a safe distance and then jump to the ground. And then I will run to him. From where I went down from where I am, the kind of the way that led out where I saw the figure.
Yes.
And close to me, or am I on the other side? Like,
roll a d20. 5. It's the exact opposite side of the ramp chamber from you.
Okay, so that doesn't work. Then I'll just run to the dude, and I'm trying to kill him.
Make an attack.
And I scream up, hold tight! And I just try to run.
Onto what?
And Mutaro's like, no, not again.
I mean, for all I know, he's safe, right?
Exactly.
So I don't have my javelin right now, so it's still floating above.
Yes.
Yeah, I had my sword. So, how do you feel about the natural 20?
Okay. Oh my god.
So what was just?
Still getting.
It's
Good. So, like, from the perception of this now. Okay, so yeah.
So you rolled a 20, and you're second.
19.
Oh my god. This episode needs to be called Naturally 20.
Naturally
I still
20.
have 1 first level spell slot. I will use my Divine Smite that also gets, quadrupled? Like 5 times?
Pentripled, correct.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this will be a lot of damage.
One hit spellcaster.
Roll.
What is your base dice?
My base die is a d8, and it will add 2d8, and that will be times 5.
Yes. All right. Describe to me how you dispatch
15d8.
the sorcerer.
Yeah.
15 d8 damage. There you go. And well, what else can you?
I just want to roll that for fun now. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So, as I like, hold on, and I just like lunge at him with the arm kind of extending, and while he does, there's a shine from the tip of the blade that kind of starts to encase the blade as it starts to light up, and I just push the blade through in between the two collarbones, kind of in between through the throat, through the arteries, and through the in between two. I mean, with that kind of crit, in between two of the
vertebrae.
Vertebrae, right?
Yes.
Vertebrae, and just like in his throat, and then I just like twist the blade and kind of just swish to the side, and just also kind of cut the chain with the amulet around his neck.
He moves to try and grab his throat, but because his spinal cord is severed, nothing happens except for his arms dropping to his side, and he collapses to the floor next to you. The amulet spins out. Julia shouts, "No!" and is trying to scrabble towards it. The spell immediately stops, and everyone drops.
Yeah, in which I just want to because I'm looking at this happen. Sword is out, just out, as I'm going for a cliff dive. Just,
I'm going for you, Julia. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll handle this just as on screen. Mutaru, you need to give me an acrobatics check, please, or a strength check. Are you trying to get out of the ropes, or are you just trying to hold yourself in place, or doing something else for that matter?
Well, let's have a look. So I'm currently suspended, dangling from a precarious position where if I move my right arm by a certain amount, the knots will slip, plummeting me, how far to the ground?
20 foot.
30 feet.
20 foot.
Well, with the rope extending
Yeah,
10 foot above you.
And
Yeah.
also like we dropped down like a few
Yeah.
times a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I... yeah, I'm going to jump down.
All right.
I'm
Give me an
Let's do the
acrobatics.
six man.
Yeah.
can I make an athletics check?
No, because it's not about physically breaking the ropes. It's about maneuvering yourself so that you don't strangle yourself.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. 17.
Oh, that's more than enough. You're fine.
nice.
So you also realize that if you just maneuver one hoof to the left, you can slip out of the whole thing like a...
Don't go there.
Thank you. I was having... You know me too well. So you slip out of everything very delicately and precipitously, and then plunge the 20 remaining feet to the surface below, taking 7 points of damage as you land with ice shattering around you and exploding and etc., etc., etc. Con, how are you handling
2
your
hit points.
suspension?
I'm guessing I'm a little higher than he is.
Yes, because you pushed up. You're 30 foot away from the ground.
I transform into a blink dog and then teleport
Awesome.
to land beside, to reappear beside the collapsing corpse of the lizard.
Nice.
And then the eyes.
No ice above the wizard, right?
Yes, that's true. Graham, you have your rapier forward and give me an
Like
attack
for-
roll.
Yeah, I'm not even considering the damage at this point. I am so hell bent on just ripping her head off.
Murderizing.
Yep. Is this with advantage or no?
I beg your no. You don't have advantage here because you are forward.
All right. All right, that's 19.
19's a hit. Do your damage and add an additional 2d6.
Oh, bless you. Here. Just you dumb drow. 4. 20 total.
20. You take 7 points of damage yourself as you slam into her.
taking
She
it.
grabs your blade with both of her hands and screams in pain as your blade cuts through her fingers, as well as buries itself in her chest, as she's coughing out this dark, dark blood, which is almost black, she looks up at you. We could have had such a remarkable partnership. Instead, you take it for yourself.
That's how Greem always does it. For myself.
She dies.
And she never shut up.
Yeah, she does.
I was like, I have like blood like coming down my face with the whopping 4 hit points left.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the ice. And then the ice.
And then the ice just shatters and lands
like
around.
It's like a Monty Python now. And then the ice.
And then the ice. All right. So,
This adventure is sponsored by On the Rocks.
well, it was nearly on the rocks many times, actually. So there is a moment where there is silence, aside from the occasional thud and snap of ice. However, to Con's relief, perhaps, you look over in dog form, and the giant six-armed creature is staring at you, its mouth open, fangs bared. But a shard of ice has punctured through the back of its skull and out its neck, keeping its head up where it stands, completely rigid and dead in place.
I go over to it, cock a leg, and urinate on it.
There you go.
That's a good boy.
So before Graham can get his greedy eyes on anything happening, I'll use one of the pouches and kind of throw it over the amulet, kind of put it in and tuck it away.
Perfect. All right.
Oh.
Well, Graham, also, admittedly, your focus would be on the dead body.
Oh
of
yeah, that's
Julie.
true. I'm so focused on that.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I'm taking my time to just cut her up. Yeah, I'm cutting her up real good.
Wow.
And then my next thought would be like finding the book that she possibly still has on her.
All right.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I'm a researcher, but I'm having fun cutting her up. It's like blood, oh glorious blood, bullshit all the time.
As your
So much-
doctor, I feel I should warn you that this is not healthy behavior.
There's a dog
really
barking at
Gary
you.
is also concerned.
Quick player GM note. I need to do a full disclosure here as I turn from a blink dog back into a human. 2 points that became to my attention is one, I can't transform into polar bears yet.
Oh.
That's all right. We forgive you. It was epic.
And a blink dog isn't classified as a beast.
I was wondering about that. I'm like, you could do that?
Well,
Boringly,
well,
I can't.
He could,
well,
now forgot.
well.
You know what?
So I'm sure
you
to
turn to a
preempt
bird.
to preempt any comments on the channel, I have discovered my error
Yep.
and will attempt to avoid it in future.
Aha.
We can say you turn to a bird, just and you lay it down.
Honestly, the polar bear shouldn't be really a big problem because like it's a brown bear with white fur. Like
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Exactly. I don't have an issue with that. All right. So the chamber is eerily quiet apart from the slashing sounds of Graham and the digging, rummaging sounds of Blackston going through the remains of Julia. Upon her person, you can find that there is a leather-bound book, black leather-bound book. The pages themselves are also black.
How is our resident gnome or halfling? Gnome, right? She was a gnome.
She's a halfling.
Halfling, okay.
Yeah.
Resident halfling.
She has landed rather badly, but is quietly humming a tune to herself and appears to be on the mend. She is looking around.
All right, so I will put my hand on Graham's shoulder and say, Graham, it is all right. You can calm down.
Here, take 2 of these and talk to
One
me.
more.
I'm going to make a beeline for where I saw the diagrams of the Windswift on the table.
All right, Mutaru? Yep.
I am going to follow Con.
All right. The 2 of you make it to the table. There is the layout for all of the ships that were on that list that you were given. And so the layout of the Kadan Dachi is there, the layout of the Windswift, the Georgi Lochheilen is there, the Sandarai Possum's Gambit, and the one that shall not be named, Kadakalaxprax, is there as well.
Is that a ship?
That is the name of the ship, yes. Remember, it's the dragon name, which the ship should not have been given, correct. It is an airship, yes. It is also an airship that does not conform with... Well, now that you see the schematics, and Con, because you are a fanatic in this, the Cadillac-Sprax is a three-hulled... It almost looks like a catamaran version of these airships. This design, you suspect, would make it be able to move exceptionally quickly, as well as to be able to take quite a lot more damage, because you've got to destroy all three hulls before it would start to lose air buoyancy, if you like. Definitely not one that has been anywhere within the order as far as you are aware. The others all make sense. There are also areas marked on the ship where just a cursory glance, you realize that if there was an explosion there, it would knock out the entire ship, because the explosion would hit straight into the engine of the vessel, causing a chain reaction, and exactly what happened to the Kadan Dachi would happen, a self-implosion of the units. There are pages of notes on each individual who's aboard the ship. They're arranged according to ship, so you can find a dossier on yourselves as well. In there,
By the gods.
Just a volume of information is available on the ships, and then that same date and coordinate system is there. There's a massive map of Braxia with all of the coordinates that detail exactly where these ships would be. Now,
I gather up. Sorry.
Before you grab the map, you're looking at the map at these coordinates of these 6 ships. The numbers are changing. This is a real...
Cast detect magic.
It glows with a brilliant amount of divination magic.
Wow. Can we take a breather, if you don't mind?
I toss a copy. I toss each of the other 3 their personal file as a way of emphasis. As I say, well, this is where the ship. This is beyond any doubt. This is where the ship saboteurs have come from. And look,
Yep.
The order is most certainly compromised.
Like I said, you can't trust anyone.
I just scowl at Grimm as he says this.
What? I don't trust any of you. It's okay. You don't have to trust me either.
Does anyone notice that Graham's going purple?
Yeah, I'm not feeling good, so I really would like to... Oh, God. Sorry.
I mean...
No, I mean, like Sorrow Fest. Like, sorry. Since you shattered the floor, can you heal people? Can you heal us?
Did I shatter the floor? Was that my fault?
No, that was totally her fault. She's all...
Yeah, no, that was my fault. That was my bad. I admit to that. That okay, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my mistake. My fault. And...
But in the end, it worked out.
Poison, I'll need to rest a little bit, and then I should be able to help you with the poison.
Yeah, let's all have a nice little rest.
Yes.
Before we start to rest, or when we start to rest, I would ask Suri, holding up the book, if that is the book that we were speaking about earlier in the camp of theirs.
Yeah, that's it. She had it with her, right? Oh,
Yep.
I knew she was lying. All right. Well,
Binding the rest of... I don't know. I don't have any rope anymore. Okay, so I would ask someone else about rope and kind of try...
I'll take out one of my many layers of my kabuki outfit, and I'll just rip off a sleeve and I'll put it in the binding.
I also have rope because I never use it.
but the sleeve is different.
Right?
I think the less contact.
I make it Christmas
The
present
better.
out of this book, everybody. So I bind this basically so it doesn't just like go open.
There you
and,
go. From
But this
above
now
you,
symbolizes. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I was going to say this now symbolizes the new mature Mataru look, with like half his chest being exposed and half in the
robes. There we go.
Oh,
in the robes.
the mature Mutaru.
From above you, way up,
It's like I'm looking away.
you hear a voice. Are you ready to return to the surface now? Are you done playing heroes?
How's the boat?
What the
Is
hell
he
is that?
100? Is he 120 foot away? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
He's
No.
40 foot above you, and
Um.
this green head with these large tusks sticking out of it, and this massive Corinthian helmet with this red plume of hair looks down, and then
Carno's me dinner.
looking down over the edge next to him is the very well maintained, very tight bunned head of Jacini Tai, the first mate, Lieutenant Tai. Are you all right, sirs?
What do you think?
We are badly injured.
I was kind of hoping they would answer that, but
They are
yes.
badly injured. Yes.
I think we broke the skiff.
I think we broke
I will-
everything.
I assume at this point, Graham, you're incapacitated and capitated the drow. I will take her head then with us.
Oh, hang on. I can. Oh yeah, I probably cut that head off. Yeah.
I will take the head with us.
Sorry, why have they cut off Julia's head? Don't worry, honey, it's a long story. All right, I'll tell you when we find. Throw us down some goddamn ropes, all right? I'm sick of this ziggurat of ice and death.
See, there's that charm that still makes me kind of like you in a way. Sorry.
Well, of course you should like me. I'm me.
No,
I like
just,
you.
just yeah. I like the cynical
Good.
side. It makes more sense.
So, the dossiers, the maps, all of that stuff you gather together. Any cursory glances around the remainder of that ziggurat space doesn't result in anything of actual use. There's some minor places where these elves obviously survived. The only thing that you do discover is that the runes that are on the floor would act as a massive teleportation circle, and quite possibly would be the means with which they were sending people to the various ships and things. Because once you get to the top of the ice shaft, you look down and the circles become a lot more apparent as to what they would have done and what they would do in normal functioning. Unless you want to remain in the ziggurat, Lieutenant Tai will escort you out with this large orc who claps hands on shoulders, introducing himself. I am Kaglor, and I appreciate the rescue. Not that I needed it, but I appreciate it.
Can we somehow? Can we dismantle this teleportation circle?
Send the blink dog.
Doesn't it require a magician to operate?
Yes, but someone could use it later.
We have, and I say, Griham, we have the destination. I kind of point at the map, kind of the maps that we have.
Can I take a look at it and see if I can decipher how to either use or dismantle it?
Give me an Arcana check.
Wait a minute. I think I might actually be proficient. I'm curious if I can do it too.
20, not natural.
Oh, all right. Looking
no.
down at the circle, the very easiest thing to do, the glyphs themselves, what makes them magical is that they're inlaid with a particular gemstone, which is this very fine lapis lazuli, which is a blue, sort of cloudy blue gemstone.
Right?
Yeah. You pop that out of 7 or 8 of those sigils, they'd have to reforge new ones to put in there. Without it, it's basically just scratchings on the floor. All right, so you pocket a couple of those sigils, the circle is rendered basically null and void.
Okay, now I'm comfortable. Let's go.
Yeah, unless they bring a jeweler with them who can
I mean, then they can do it somewhere else too.
Yes,
I get
exactly.
my doctor's bag and have a look at Graham, as if there's anything I can do for him. My magics are exhausted, I'm afraid.
All right, give me a medicine check.
I've just been poisoned pretty badly.
That's I'm feeling in my phone.
22.
Yeah.
22. All right. He's
making me
definitely
sound like
been
that.
poisoned. Your medicine training would suggest leeches. You have those aboard the Windswift.
A course of leeches will sort you right out.
Yes.
By the
Let's
way,
go.
Leech.
by the way, did we actually find the medallion? And
Nope.
if so, where is it?
Didn't find
No,
it.
We
No.
didn't find it.
Yeah, we found it, but you don't know, and Graham doesn't know.
Yeah. No, I mean Mutaro's asking.
And then I say no. No, sorry. He hadn't. There was this one man though in the archway. Maybe he had it.
Or maybe I saw you like attack him. Maybe it just fell off the side. It could have into the abyss.
Yeah,
Excuse me, I have a swollen tongue. I usually sound menacing, but not like in this condition. This hurts.
All right, Doctor, you need to get your patient back to the ship pretty quickly.
Yes, let's get him to medbay. Quickly now.
Yeah.
All right.
All hit
And
points.
My
With-
litmus paper is melted. That's not a good sign.
And with that, you return to the Windswift and the warm sanctuary that it represents. Unless there is anything specifically you want to do. Mataru, you looking like you wanting to do something, or are you sorted?
Yeah, I'm all sorted. I'm very injured.
Yes.
I'm very, very injured.
Yeah.
I'm still like as a player, I took down some notes about like the experience, and I'm like, how does Mutaru digest this? I can talk about it in the review.
All right.
You know,
I can talk about it.
yeah.
So, as the Windswift slowly starts to rise, Lieutenant Ty asks the four of you, do we remain in orbit around the cigarette, or are we heading somewhere particular, sirs?
I look into the group and say, return to the headquarters.
I think
I don't know.
we have no choice.
What was the next victim potentially on that list of potential bombings and stuff like that?
The
Doesn't matter.
Georgi Lochhallen.
Do we remember the
We
date?
spoke. We spoke with them. Remember?
You did.
Remember?
Correct. You warned
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Honestly, I think the best bet at this moment is to consolidate those who we know are loyal, and obviously,
Right.
with the if there is a traitor on our midst, they will not blow up themselves. Obviously, so perhaps we should rendezvous with some more of our order and see if we can get to the bottom of this before we head straight to headquarters.
Works.
And
Yeah.
So then,
I
what would be your
prefer-
course heading, captains?
We have the.
we got the enchanted. Yeah, we've got the enchanted thing with their coordinates at the moment. Yeah,
Very well.
Like just like that
I'll
way.
give them
Which ship?
the.
Because the Georgi Lochhallen is still operational, the Possum's Gambit is still operational, and the Kadalak
let's go
Sprax.
Let's go to the ship. I could search for the name, but let's go to the ship that we spoke with, right?
The
Georgi Loch-
Gyokigalan.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can at least confirm things with them if we have
Were
to.
they not on the other side of the world, though?
Yes.
And we can we can communicate with them and then make like some place out.
All right.
Just meet that way.
Well, no, because I still think we should go in that direction. Even being on the other side of the world, I think right now unity is what we need.
Yeah, let's just meet up with them, but then we can talk with them and just meet in the middle.
I mean, is there a ship that is closer?
Sorry, what?
Is there a ship that is closer? The poison's getting a little worse here.
If you look at the map, pretty much all of the remaining ships are at disparate points. The
Oh boy.
Georgi Lochhallen is currently in the far south near the Dwarvish territories, which is not. It is from where you are around the planet, but they're moving. If you're moving towards each other, it's a matter of weeks to get to each other. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Let's do that then.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll go to the ship that we have.
Georgi
We'll
Lochhallen.
confirm things.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
I
do.
take Graham, stick him in a bathtub, and empty a big jar of leeches onto him.
Oh god! Oh.
There you go.
Coming
You'll be
back to
right
the
in no
slimy
time.
thing which we mentioned earlier.
It's at that point that the young Mios walks up to you, Con. That's the young boy that you saved, the one that you traumatized, Graham?
No.
Me?
No, I remember him quite
Cabin
fondly.
boy.
And he looks over at Graham, looks at Yukon.
What are you looking at, boy?
Have you told him about the internal leeches yet, sir?
What?
Don't trouble yourself. It's fine.
It's a medical procedure.
Don't
So,
you have some bets to make?
Yes, sir.
So we're aboard. We're aboard the Windswift at the moment.
Correct. You are indeed aboard the Windswift, and we will return again next week.
Oh,
actually, we won't return
I-
next week. Yes, sorry, you wanted something.
Sorry,
Yes.
I do have one last thing,
All right.
just to finish off this one. I stand up, very injured still, by the way, in front of the crew, and I talk to them in a very stern voice, still holding up my wounds and injuries. I look to them and say, "Ensigns and guards, please escort Braxton to the brig, pending an investigation into his actions during this rescue."
And on that note, we will be back again in the near future. Schedules permitting, this is an interesting twist. Schedules permitting, weekends aside with New Year's and with Christmas, we will see you all in the new year, I'm sure, for more adventures of the Windswift, be they from a prison cell or elsewhere. Let us find out when we return. Now, this has been an extra long episode, just so that we could wrap things up.
Merry Christmas!
I'm surprised it wasn't me that's going to the brig.
Well, technically speaking, I was unconscious during that period because, it's close. Otherwise, yes, you would have gone as well.
You could try.
So that's going to be interesting. So we will catch you all again later. Hit that like button if you like the show. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And our review session will follow, but it will be very, 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 very short. Just some one-liners, some thoughts on the players as we move around.
It was a long one.
It was a long episode, but hopefully a good one. And to you players, you may all level up your characters, of course.
Oh,
when we return.
yes!
Everyone is back.
God! Oh, yes!
Happy days.
Merry Christmas! I'm so happy.
All right, so this is Dice Destiny says we're starting with you. Michael, you are up first.
Yes, well, keeping it nice, short, and sweet. Obviously, today was the recovery period from Mutaru. It was really intense, and like I said, I'll try and keep this as short as possible. When something really big happens to my character that develops it, I like to take notes and I like to keep track of that. Very great advice, because I think characters should evolve in a game, and it's important to remember what those moments are. And this, obviously, dying, seeing his god, getting literally spoken to and given guidance directly from a deity in a world is no small matter. So I spent a lot of time on that, and I was digesting it. And I do apologize if I seemed a bit disconnected from the story, but I think there was
not much to do.
yeah. I mean, I was just hanging around. But it was really good. It was really exciting. I got a lot emotionally out of today's game, which was cool. Again, I've got a little secret and a little thing for you guys to look forward to in the new year, obviously regarding the potential arrest of Blackston. Now, it may not happen. I mean, he might struggle with me. We'll find out what happens, but there is. It's not, out of left field. There's a whole thing, but we'll go into that next time.
All right. Interesting. Graham,
Um,
you got to
wow.
wrap up some story.
Yes. This strange relationship between Julia and Greem. Well, it's because she exposed herself so much trying to overcomplicate things, making things look good, that he immediately saw her as a liability. So it's like, this is just going to be trouble.
So
Like,
rather
she's trying
cut
to
your
make-
losses, get out, then try and salvage.
Exactly, because if she I guess I could tell what she was going for near the end, but it's that's not gonna do it. You should have just gone with the group, and then we could have done things later. But it was so satisfying tearing her to pieces, because that was so frustrating to look all over bullcrap, and surprisingly bonded with Sari a little bit.
Freddy, was it for you or for your character? Or both? Because that's
Both.
a very distinction, right?
I would say very much both. Oh, it felt good.
Blackston,
And now Miss Swashbuckler.
I mean, yeah, didn't expect the last 5 seconds of the session.
Nobody expected the last 5 seconds.
Nobody expects the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think what I really like, I mean, there's role-playing wise for me that didn't very much happen. I mean, obviously, I kind of confiscated the amulet for now, which is maybe the only thing. And I mean, I did do it because I didn't want Graham to see it, that we still have it. That was my main kind of focus because of that. Because right now I have suspicions, right? Because of what I heard. But what I want to focus on rather is the meta game, because I think we played this very well. Because as someone, most of us have played a little bit of D&D or even Dungeon Master, and kind of have a good feeling for the signals of a Dungeon Master, and kind of picking up on those signals and not going like, but I want now to find out where this man went. Like that it helps if you feel like someone wants to wrap up something, then just go with it and don't just try. But actually, I want to do this now too, right? I think that is another important thing that should be kind of in the back of everybody's mind and can help the Dungeon Master to run a good game and run a satisfying game.
Absolutely. I do appreciate the fact that you guys didn't want to pursue that. Because anyway, yes, good, thank you. Okay, short and succinct. Con, quickly, what is your thoughts on the matter, on the game?
Pay closer attention to the book. Just, as a player, there's a certain level of satisfaction from pulling off cool actions and sequences, and it cheapens it, takes away from it a little bit when you look down and you go, oh, actually I couldn't do that. I'll get over it, it's fine. But there's a player lesson for you right there. Always make sure you understand the rules, otherwise
the limitations.
You put everyone in a bit of position, because then you put your fellow players in a position where they've got to go, well, actually you can't do that really cool thing you want to do. And so,
no, absolutely. Good. And then from my side, just in case anyone was wondering what the hell happened, so with Mutaru's death, where the dice dictated he had got 3 saves, he failed all 3 saves, and so as far as the rule books are concerned, he should be dead. Now, I am very averse to character death because it interrupts all sorts of narrative storylines and things that I like to have running. However, if the character is meant to die, the character should die. However, in my games, and I think I've said this before, I have my deity system. And if you roll 1%, or in your case 99%, which I take as being as stupendously amazing as 1%, because it is, the deity intervenes. And for me, your roll of 99 was just perfect. So I don't, as a GM, have an issue with the god intervening and taking an act and saving the character. If you had rolled 97 or 92 or 5 or 7, then Mutaru would have died. But that's just something that I use. It is literally a last-ditch effort to keep the character in the game, because I think we all like the character. And for him to have died there in that space...
might change his attitude soon.
Well, there we go. Who knows? So, yes, so that's where that came from. That's something that I use. My players know about it. And a lot of people say, well, that cheapens death. It means that death is not so absolute. And I say, yes, it does mean that death is not so absolute. By 1% not so absolute. And when that 1% triggers... it's that much more awesome. But anyway, that's enough from me. That's enough from all of us. You go and have a wonderful Christmas Day and a fantastic New Year, and we will see you all in 2018. So from me and everybody else, sayonara.
Merry Christmas.